When people think about type 1 diabetes, they often only think about insulin. Take the insulin away, blood sugar skyrockets. End of story, right? Well, not exactly. Insulin isn't the only hormone destroyed in type 1 diabetes. And once you understand the other hormones that are missing or broken, it suddenly starts to make a bit more sense why blood sugar is so hard to control, even when you're doing everything right. Some of these hormones you've probably never heard of, but they might explain why diabetes feels like an unsolvable puzzle to these hidden hormones. So, first up, hormone number one, glucagon. Think of glucagon as insulin's opposite twin. While insulin lowers blood sugar, glucagon's job is to raise it, to keep that homeostatic level in your body. Glucagon tells your liver to release stored sugar when you're dropping too low. But here's the kicker. In type 1 diabetes, those glucagon producing cells are destroyed along with the insulin producing cells. That's why low blood sugars can feel sudden and dangerous in type 1 diabetes. The backup system is basically gone. Do you ever feel like your lows come out of nowhere, even when you thought you had your insulin and carbs lined up perfectly? It's glucagon not showing up for its job. Like, really. So comment yep if that sounds familiar. But glucagon's just the beginning. There are other hormones that don't get nearly enough attention, but they can silently sabotage blood sugar levels every single day. So next are the incretins, the GLP-1 and GIP. These hormones are like traffic directors. They tell your body, hey, food's coming in, release insulin now. But in type 1, incretins don't work right. So it's like losing the traffic lights at a busy intersection. You can imagine complete chaos. Instead of your body preparing for glucose, it just sits there unprepared. That's one reason meals can spike blood sugar so unpredictably. Even if you carb count perfectly, without these hormones, incretins, your body doesn't see the food coming in. When you eat the same meal twice, does your blood sugar react differently each time? Drop a plate emoji in the comments if that happens to you. It's not just you. This is a big reason why. If you've ever wondered why you rarely feel full after meals, or why it's so hard to stop eating when blood sugar is running high, that ties into the next missing hormone. So let's talk about amylin. It's released alongside insulin in people without diabetes. Its job? To slow down digestion and send signals to your brain that you're full. That's satiety hormone, right? But in type 1 diabetes, amylin is gone. No, amylin means food digests faster, blood sugars spike harder, and you often don't get that natural feeling of fullness. So have you ever noticed that when your blood sugar is high, you feel hungrier, not less hungry? And this next part is huge. Even if you could perfectly replace insulin, glucagon, incretins, and amylin, you'd still struggle with blood sugar control. Why? Because of the stress hormones that come into play. Stress hormones are the wild cards of diabetes control. Things like adrenaline, cortisol, and growth hormone raise your blood sugar. Adrenaline kicks in during exercise, well, high intense exercise, fear, and excitement. Cortisol rises with stress or lack of sleep, and growth hormone spikes overnight and during puberty. For people without diabetes, insulin and glucagon balance these things out. For us, no glucagon, no amylin, no incretins, and insulin is always delayed. It's a perfect storm. So a quick test. What raises your blood sugar more? Stress, lack of sleep, or exercise? Drop me a comment below and let me know. I'm curious to see which hits harder for you. When you zoom out and look at this, it makes sense why managing type 1 feels so overwhelming and unpredictable. It's not just the insulin. It's all these missing pieces working against you and me and my kids. This is why the best insulin, the best tech, the most careful carb counting, blood sugars still feel unpredictable. In type 1 diabetes, it's not just one hormone that's gone, it's a whole system. That doesn't mean we're powerless. It just means when you hit those crazy highs or frustrating lows, you're not failing. The deck is really stacked against you. So if this helped connect the dots for you, hit that like button and subscribe button if you're new here. So I know to make more deep dive videos like this one. So now you know it's not just insulin. Type 1 diabetes is a battle with multiple hormones missing, broken, or out of sync. So watch this vid here to see what stress did to my blood sugars after a car accident. See you next week.